Hello. Some time ago, I was doing a little series on the 6 disadvantages of not thinking about the time of death. And I'm going to complete that today. I went over the first 4, and I'll review those quickly, and then I'll do the last 2. And then I actually want to share a poem that I think leads us forward from those contemplations and poses a question for us to think about our lives. And so this practice of looking that Lama Tsongkhapa wrote about looking at reflecting on death is a practice that helps us to put our spiritual practice really at the forefront of our lives rather than the 8 worldly concerns, because we have so much attachment to this life. And so I'll just review the first 4 quickly. We have a tendency not to think about death, and if we don't counteract that, because we could die at any time, there's no guarantee we'll be here in an hour from now. There's no one that can say with any certainty that they're going to be here tomorrow. That's the reality, but we don't think about that unless we have these teachings, I think, actually, that help us to put this in a healthy context. But if we don't think about that, that would leave us kind of devoted just to this life, ensuring the happiness of this life. And so the first disadvantage is just that. We won't actually think about the Dharma at all. And as Lama Tsongkhapa wrote about these disadvantages, they more and more apply to someone with a spiritual practice. So the first one's not practicing probably much at all. The second one, any of the activities you undertake will be inherently weak because they're still going to be for the sake of this life. So maybe you're practicing some kind of religious tradition, but you're still all keyed into this life so much. The third one is that in the spiritual activities we do could very likely be associated with misdeeds or conduct that isn't so wonderful. That's then creating karmic causes for future suffering. And that will impact our future lives, but we're still kind of not thinking about our future lives so much. And then the fourth disadvantage is now you've maybe turned your mind more to thinking about a future life. But if you don't think about that death could be imminent, then it's difficult to overcome laziness, and you can end up just wasting a lot of time, getting distracted with useless activities. And so it impairs your ability to practice correctly and with a lot of effort. So that's the advantage then, if you flip it around, of bringing this to mind. Think about it, like if you bring this to mind, how does it impact your mind, and then how does it impact your day? So those were the first 4. So now you've got somebody who's practicing, they're thinking about future lives. But the 5th disadvantage is if you're still having the expectation that you'll live for a long time, it's very easy to still develop these really powerful mental afflictions related to the 8 worldly concerns. As all of us here probably are quite aware, they come up easily as we have attachment to things of this life, and the things, they come up. And so these afflictions are still going to be powerful. And then the next disadvantage is that you're still not really keyed in to thinking that you could die anytime soon. You may be thinking about future lives, but the afflictions are still on board quite a bit. And they actually create this potential for doing all these misdeeds that become stronger and stronger because it doesn't have the right mindset that would take you away from this. For instance, you would be taken farther and farther away from the Dharma because actually if you're not recognizing and putting things in place, like the 8 world concerns are still quite strong, then you're going to be propelled by the attachment from that. And so your spiritual goals, Lama Tsongkhapa says, it'd be difficult to accomplish anything of true value during your life. So given that, I thought it would be good to share this poem that takes us forward from there. We think about these 6 disadvantages, we look at our lives, and we try to bring this to mind on a regular basis. As they say, if you don't think about death in the morning, you waste the morning. If you don't think about it in the midday, you waste the midday. If you don't think about it in the evening, you waste the evening. There's that expression. So, we want to bring this to mind. So the first Panchen Lama, Losang Chokyi Gyaltsen, wrote a poem called While We Still Have Some Choices Left. I bow down to my Lama gentle voice from the depths of my being, I turn my heart. To the Lama of the able ones themselves, to my teacher, the three high and precious jewels, taking my shelter, then singing this song of my inner being, in words of reason from the path of the word, open and secret. The time is now while we still have some choices left. Don't leave fruitless, apples never picked. Give life some meaning, devote yourself single-pointedly to something pure that you can accomplish and look back satisfied. What I did up to now in my life is nothing hard to see, but the journey that comes after me fills me with fear. Better, I think, now to spend some time in preparing for that long and dangerous road ahead. Find someone to come along with me. Pack some supplies that will never run out. Back then, I spent my time enjoying life's tidbits. Now, I look back, wonder what it meant. Time to stop deluding myself anymore and obtain some guarantees that I won't regret my life. Since the day I stepped into my mother's womb, I have stood before the enemy, Lord Death, ripe to pluck. He left, not a moment left uncounted, while demon liars whispered to me that I still had time. A rainbow appeared in the winter sky, lovely and gone in a single second. This young and healthy rosy body is a thing that falls apart with each passing moment. In the days of darkness, our lives are but a few hours, a crimson flash of lightning from within some summer clouds. The old and the young die around us out of order. So now, stop all this distraction and keep your eyes open, wide. Family, friends and followers drift together. Clouds in the sky then part and vanish. Life, the bubble, cannot be trusted to stay. Money, things, shining glories, nothing but a dream. Come quietly. Set aside this farce of a life that lasts. This body of a human life possessed of resource and opportunity, so difficult to find, but so very easy to lose. Only once do you find such a thing, and you have found it now. Waste this chance. Do nothing of meaning, and you're nothing but a madman. Look at all the objects there are, and all the minds that see them, just there. That is, if you never bother to look too close. Delve into them, and they disappear in nothingness. Throw your mind, naked as it is, into this empty realm. Restrain your thoughts from chasing after likes and dislikes. Come now to that precious treasure, the word of the able lords. Live in meditation upon the path of emptiness with compassion at its core. Never allow yourself to be separated from it. Goodness for a lifetime. As the years go by, you may not achieve deep analysis based on learning and contemplation. But remember, they have spoken that the mind is the root of the cycle and of leaving it too. At least then, try to work inside, bringing peace and self-control to your heart. These words of advice capture the very essence of all the deepest Dharma. Stay where your body is the deities, the world, and emptiness combined. Stay where your only speech is to chant forever the song of emptiness. Stay where your mind never stirs from the realm of the blissful void. Model your life upon that of your spiritual father and mother, your Lama. In talking with you a bit about these things, I've done a great goodness. By its power, may all the beings in the cycle of pain, in all three of the realms. Stop all, the great cause, the source of pain, in everything it produces, thus gaining, with speed, that highest state, the three holy bodies of Buddhahood. So I want to go back to the title of this poem and the verse that it's from to leave us with this question. I really found this to be really timely and helpful advice. So this one verse says, "The time is now, while we still have some choices left." That's the title. While we still have some choices left. And what does he say to do? Don't leave fruitless apples never picked. Give life some meaning. Devote yourself single-pointedly to something pure that you can accomplish and look back satisfied. And that's what I want to leave us with, the question to each of us to pose to ourselves. You know, it's as he says in this poem, and as we experience, sometimes we can look at the path and it just seems so big and long and complicated and everything and so far away from reaching certain spiritual goals. But he's saying, find something pure that you can accomplish. You know, like it's like taking baby steps. Find the things that make sense in your life that you can devote yourself to, and then accomplish them. And then you can look back satisfied. And as long as you have the proper motivation, you're creating the causes for your future happiness, your eventual awakening, and then your ability to be of the most benefit to others.